days. That's a whole lot of Magi.
Yeah, it is. By the way, that guy had a sign that said, "Hi, Nick," but it was just on a bit of torn-off cardboard.
Hi, Nick.
He's been turning it toward the... Oh, man.
That's Nick.
That was a good stare. Damn.
Yeah,
He's been turning it toward the cameras every time possible. You must
Really?
really love Nick.
Yeah, but also, if you like Nick so much, get a
No,
tidy
put some
up your
effort into
sign.
it.
I'm
Why
just
didn't
saying,
you
tidy
get
it
him
up
a
a little
ticket?
Bit of word art, you know? Really put some effort into it. Like maybe a nice border.
Something.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Hire an artist.
Multicolored Sharpies, just mix it up.
It's like they found a box outside
Make the
the
effort.
venue and just, give me that. Hi, Nick. No offense, you guys are great. Don't kill me.
Or they just genuinely found it on the floor, like, I don't know who this is for, but this is mine now.
I
Hi,
want to
Nick.
hold up a sign, no matter what it says.
Yeah.
I'll say hi, Nick.
Okay,
Maybe.
we need to recap, because I feel like we
So,
have missed a couple of
Mirana.
bands.
Yeah,
Mirana
Mirana
SD.
Mirana SD, the Soul Catcher obviously makes Mirana's burst potential extremely high. We've also been seeing Lunas go for this super late BKB build, obviously because if you build BKB too early, it can be a big detriment to you early on.
That's
So
easy.
if you're, specific example, sure, but with the Mirana, with this like the potential to burst the Luna before he gets BKB is very high. You're very good at illusion clearing as well, which Luna will get a Manta, of course, at one point in the game. It's a really good pick with Shadow Demon too. It's just safe, doesn't give anything away. It leaves your lanes open-ended.
I mean, the main thing about Arteezy's BKB, it wasn't that it was early, it was that he didn't really need it. Like, it was all physical damage, so it was like, what's the point? But I mean, against a team that's all magical damage, I don't think it would be terrible to get it relatively early. You wouldn't die.
And not dying is probably a good thing.
But then you don't hit, you know? It's like, you want the combination. How come people don't get Ags Luna? Explain it to me, Fogged. Explain it to me like I'm a child.
Your other items are just better. You don't want to be dependent on your ultimate so highly. You want to be a physical damage dealer, tower pusher. If you're just relying on your ultimate so highly, it's not really the
But
greatest.
it's so cool.
It does look cool. I mean, it's a great item.
Oh.
It's not like it's a bad item.
Bye-bye Magi.
Yeah.
I think, banning out the Undying, the Ogre, weakening Faceless' lanes for sure, and just taking out more of their comfort heroes. Like I mentioned before, they stole the Undying, stole kind of in a way the Undying from them before, but not going to let it happen. And, you know, they're maybe thinking, these guys are taking our picks, you know.
Yeah.
They're taking our draft from before.
And is that something that is kind of viable and has a pretty good success rate?
Just
of actually
nicking someone's
basically
strat?
going, hey, that worked. Let's give that a whack.
Sure.
I mean, I guess if it ain't broke, don't
Oh, God.
fix it.
Slacks has a new hobby.
Yeah, what is this? He's Snapchatting.
Yes, he has discovered Snapchat, and there's actually a pug filter.
Get back to work.
There's a pug filter? That's actually pretty sweet.
Isn't there a Boston Major filter?
Yeah, there is.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is an
That's pretty cool
actual Dota filter on Snapchat.
Looking at the Faceless Band's Invoker, of course, we had such a stellar performance in it last. It works really well with their draft as well. And okay, they take Enchantress. And the Alchemist Band, of course, you know, Shadow Demon is just the Alchemist.
That in sync moan from Shiva Empyrean Flex.
Oh,
Explain
goodness.
yourself.
Please don't remix that. I mean, I figure it'll be...
Hi, Nick.
Maybe it'll be more effective than the Chen,
I hope so.
but we'll see.
It's different. It's a little bit different. Obviously, you strengthens your lanes more, but it's really, I mean, when you pick a Chen or Enchantress line, you put a lot of pressure on the person who's playing it.
You should.
And instant response, I kind of said how DC likes to, you know, counterpick kind of in a way, or just like prep themselves up for the draft that they're facing. So Juggernaut, pretty hard for Enchantress to really gank. Great versus Luna at most of the stages of the game, and it gives you sustain for your push and sets you up into a tempo for your game.
I'm not sure if Nuts is the one playing the Enchantress. He's never played Enchantress in his competitive career.
Okay.
At least not according
Now's
to
the
Dota.
time. Let's stick him on Enchantress.
Hey, this is what you asked for, Ted. You said you haven't won a single game.
Go ham.
Go ham.
Yeah, but
Boss of the walls, they pick Centaur now too.
Yeah, here you go.
Do you think it might be XY playing it? I'll check if he does.
Centaur's back.
We had
have seen that
Centaur in the group
before.
stages. He did pretty well, I think. In
Yeah.
fact, I think they won, didn't they?
VP's game.
Yeah.
That was here, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Was
Wasn't
it?
That was
I thought-
yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Was it? Fair enough.
Yeah.
But we like that. We got the Ag Centaur and everyone just ran over walls, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Trying to
Gotta
think
love that.
the reasoning as to why they did it though. At least for this game. Obviously, it gives them more like lockdown. Like the obvious things was lockdown, heavy burst. But what did they really? I guess they just wanted a heavy, beefy frontliner for the Luna. It's one of the only things that really come to mind for me right now.
Okay.
And just a disengage for Juggernaut.
At least we're getting to see some more heroes in play. I mean, that's Faceless and a Silver Lining.
Yeah, okay.
And I doubt the DC are going to have prepared for an Enchantress Centaur.
That's because they generally wouldn't have to, because it's not
not usual.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good in very specific situations, and I've yet to see if this is one of those specific situations. Digital Chaos has still 2 picks to prepare for anything they might expect to come their way from Faceless. I mean, so far, if you look at Faceless, Fog, do you see like a specific timing they should hit? I mean, they've got the Luna, they've got the Siege, but at the same time, there's a Shadow Demon as well. What's Faceless' plan?
Wake up! Yeah, you.
I mean, they're just picking like a Luna strategy and having a frontliner, like I was kind of mentioning. They're just going for. I mean, they're just having it's just like a safe pick. It doesn't really reveal like too much what they really want. Just decent team fight.
Yeah.
And just having like this guy in the front who can tank everything.
Darkseer.
Enchantress does enable you to be able to pick like different type of offlaners, as we've seen. Like the Enchantress goes and helps him out. That's probably more so what he'll do this game. But picking this Darkseer changes it up a little bit more, because now you don't know where you still don't really know where the Mirana could be. It's more now it can more than likely be a mid laner. They can pick an Earth Spirit or something like that with the Darkseer or Spirit Breaker and just be emphasizing on heavily pressuring the lane that we saw before. This is a DC approach. They leave their lanes open-ended so they can really change up the way that they're going to approach the game at any stage. And they even have Faceless actually even feels forced to ban out a Meepo.
Yeah.
Wow.
They
It's
lost against the
happened.
Digital Chaos Meepo in 20 minutes at some point, I believe.
It's still a hero that they can pick up for sure. They can put the Mirana support. They have the Shadow Demon Mirana roaming combo, Juggernaut safe lane, Darkseer Meepo. Meepo fits pretty well into the lineup too. Meepo can fit into lots of lineups, especially if it's a last pick. It's just like one of those like boom in your face.
We lost. Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah. Don't forget that was a promise actually from Ex-Nova of Warriors that perhaps a Meepo will be cropping up in later
A
games.
promise that perhaps, maybe.
Well, but he said I can't reveal anything, and then Slacks made him explain with a facial expression, which was a smirk.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the most info I can get.
All right.
Close enough.
It's almost a promise in my mind.
So DC bans out the Tinker.
Oh,
and
there's Tom. Hey,
that's
Tom.
a very individually targeted ban at Faceless at Jabs, because that's one of his more played heroes. There's a Tom and a Gurg there.
Yeah, Tom and Gurg. Shout out. Oh, is that lad's getting drinking nice and early? Cheers,
All right.
sir. Cheers.
But a glass of champagne?
I'm not gonna lie. Where's our champagne?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I like this. This is a very straightforward DC lineup. It looks like kind of what you'd expect from like VP type of thing, DK, Darkseer. They have a timing window push, but they also have heavy late game with the Shadow Demon Juggernaut combo. They even have great. They just have lots of setup. This gives them the lockdown that they were kind of missing with the only Mirana being their only stun on top of Vacuum.
DC's lineup is solid.
Yeah, it feels like you
Yeah.
guys are sold on DC's draft at this point in time, and then you're sitting there with eyebrows raised and a bit of a frown.
It depends what Faceless
at
can pull
Faceless.
out of the bag
Yeah.
for their fifth
Okay.
pick. It's going to need to be something that we're like techies or
So
something.
this is what
We
we look
didn't
at
think
a drum
about
roll.
this. This is genius.
It
works. It's so good.
I just
Yeah,
can't
that's
imagine
what we're
what it
hoping
might
for.
be, but
I'd love to see what if like the brainstorm you can come up with anything for Theorycraft for this final pick. Something that could be justified. This is his thinking face, by the way. for
yeah.
everyone at home.
When he's thinking, he does tilt his head back,
Yeah.
purses his lips,
Purses his lip.
and then he
just
waits
missing-
until it's
missing
been
the
picked and says, "Yeah, I thought it would be that."
Yeah, he's
No,
got nothing.
I'm
He's
not
coming up
too sure.
empty. He's coming
Trying
up
to think
empty.
of what can like really round up their lineup, because they still kind of lack physical damage. It's
They
literally
need
it's
jabs
all in on the
heroes,
Luna
so-
for physical.
I reckon it'll be something like Nature's Prophet or something.
I don't think it'll be Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Jabs has played Medusa. It's not banned this time, but
It was
they don't
banned
have
the
a
first
draw.
time.
Medusa could, that's actually a good call. It could be a possibility that they're going for. It makes them like having a pretty greedy draft though. They're really slow on their timings.
And then there's a lot of pressure on Enchantress getting a lot done in the early game, which I don't have a lot of confidence in at this point. But I will be happy to be proven wrong.
Mm.
They're taking their time though. They're almost out.
They're
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Almost.
I know Jabs has played Mag every now and then. I mean, they don't really have a melee carry core to deal with it though. But
Sniper.
okay, so Sniper. So
Melee carry.
they needed something to give them a bit more physical damage into the later stages and some more. I mean, it's a good lane for the Sniper versus a DK. DK always does pretty well,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
It's
Interesting.
happened.
It is interesting.
It's
I think
interesting.
That is,
oh
that
god,
is
we're
the
saying
word.
interesting again.
I hate
We're
that
staying
word.
away from that.
And
Get rid of
It's
it.
the cop-out word.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
that's I like to go for
Fascinating.
intriguing.
Intriguing.
Yeah, that's my cop-out.
Same thing.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's interesting. It's intriguing. Whatever you want to call it. Our interesting and intriguing casting duo is ready as well. LD Winter, you feeling good about this one?
I'm feeling good. I'm not sure how Faceless is feeling. Winter. They're up against elimination here. We're live on the floor of the Wang Theater in Boston. You gave a little gasp when you saw that last pick. And going into it, looking at the state of the draft, there weren't that many great options for Faceless. You were like, do they go Puck? Not so good against Dragon Knight. Not really strong cure right now. Do they go Storm? It feels a little greedy. I brought up the OD, which would be good in the lane, but then doesn't give you that space creator later on. So they end up going sniper, and then you gasped. Why did you gasp, Winter?
I mean, sniper is very similar to the reason why I didn't really fancy the OD suggestion that you were telling me, because it means that Tricore is pretty greedy. They're going to heavily rely on the Enchantress. I think if Nuts plays like what he did in the last game, they're not going to be able to get away with their greedy calls this game. He needs to be able to secure space, secure the lanes for especially the Centaur and the Sniper. He shouldn't prioritize helping the Luna.
Well, there were some harsh words from PPD on Twitter, but I mean, it's fair to say Nuts, he's not normally known for playing these types of jungle heroes, so...
He doesn't play jungle heroes.
Not really given any time to adapt or to practice, obviously.
Bottom lane.
They might find a first blood here. Could be big. XY going to lift him. Hasn't skilled anything yet, so they need the chain stun. They get up the stop. The follow-up shrapnel comes through. Moon just going to accept his fate. Doesn't want to start with level 1 Surge and be unable to farm.
Well, this time...
So a first blood for Faceless, something sorely needed for them.
This time DC moves into the enemy jungle. The last game when Faceless had the Chen pickup, DC did not really invade and try to put wards to block off. This time they changed up their playstyle, so maybe expecting Faceless to run in the jungle, but instead Faceless went for the aggressive play with their smoke. The teams have been doing this more and more because you see mostly the standard play would be to smoke up, get a ward. That's the pretty much norm nowadays. But we see a couple of teams starting to switch around, trying for smoke, like 5-man smokes or 4-man smokes, trying to get first blood instead of using the smoke to just place a ward. You smoke, you get a kill, and you place the ward after. So catching them off guard here.
So where do you want to see Nuts go on the Enchantress? He was the big focus of discussion in Game 1. Playing a slightly different jungler in the Ench, but still similar fundamental concept for the laning stage. Do you go into the enemy woods? Do you want to pressure the offlane this time? What is the ideal play for him?
I think because the Centaur is on the safe lane, right now they're switching lanes. They do not want... I guess they don't want the Luna to go against Darkseer. Or they were trying to avoid the Juggernaut lane because they saw the Darkseer at bottom. Yeah, previously Faceless saw the Darkseer bottom and they got the first blood, so they were kind of expecting Darkseer to be at bottom. They do not want a Luna to go against that lane, so right now because he's in the Juggernaut's lane, this is not good for them. They need the Enchantress to help out.
She's trying to as Nuts moves in, but Misery there can just easily arrow the creep.
Yeah,
kill it off, and
that's a great point.
That's a big issue for the Enchantress. If she goes where the Mirana is, likely just going to lose her creeps.
That is actually something that I totally forgot about, because people don't pick Chen or Enchantress as much, but Mirana is an absolutely good counter against that.
So you have to stay away from the Mirana now, it feels like.
Black has to go top. Like, they need to move Black towards the safe lane. If the Enchantress can't really help out this lane at all, he needs to ditch. He needs to go top.
Yeah, he's a potential kill if he ever gets caught by a disruption. There won't be a good save.
He's going top now. And Ice! Wow!
Big solo kill there for Ice. And then the TP home, so nice fountain trip for him. Good timing for Black to rotate.
Oh my god, that is
huge.
Such a good transition by Darrow there on the Centaur. They knew they had to switch the lanes, but he went for the kill, trying to, at least when they're switching a lane, get a kill. That's what you want to happen when you're switching lanes. You do not want to just switch lanes and move around, waste your TP.
Meanwhile, mid lane, Weehaw getting pressured, but unfortunately jabs. He eats the arrow under tower.
Oh my god.
Misery with the drive-by. It would have been a likely kill on Weehaw otherwise, but the savvy veteran in position, and now Weehaw sticks around. He'll salve right up.
This is
and
what
the sniper goes down.
This is what you see from Misery a lot. He's always at the right place at the right time as a support. Like, that is one of his biggest traits as a support player. Always there when his team needs him.
And Winter, they don't have any wards to help him out here mid, unfortunately. Where generally against a Mirana, against Spirit Breaker, we often see 1, if not 2 wards, especially for a squishier hero like the sniper. He doesn't have any vision to help him. So.
And Enchantress is all the way down right now, and Misery sees the creep. He's going to try to arrow the creep. Gets the creep.
The problem is it's not that easy to juke with the creeps because they're relatively slow.
Well, if Enchantress has like 2 creeps, so he wouldn't mind too much about that.
Top lane, another takedown though. Moon getting punished here. That's some much needed experience to Black and XY.
This is really going bad for Moon on the Darkseer. He might want to go for the jungle camps.
Yeah, he did grab the early boots though. Not your ideal build if he wants to go.
Oh, we see
so you can see Weehaw didn't have a whole lot of vision to work with. The arrow comes through and will end up going down.
Still a very, very good move there by Misery, anticipating. Like, he's always around the jungle, so when he sees the enemy mid laner trying to kill his mid laner, he moves in, gets an arrow. Just good anticipation, good movements around the map.
So Nuts, level 2.
going back to the bottom
And a
lane.
half. He's going to come bottom again, and
Oh
look
no,
who's
Misery.
there. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Oh, no, he's trying
he
to
doesn't
chill.
even care about the end. She's just eat the creep. Nuts is just feeding Misery straight up at this point. Already almost level 3.5, a full level up. And meanwhile, in the bottom lane, there's some pressure on Ice. The spin comes through.
He's fine.
From Resolution. He will survive, but he's getting bullied a little bit here. And there's a Soul Catcher ready.
I mean, Nuts really wants to avoid Misery at all costs. He wants to be able to gank the lane that the Mirana is not guarding at the moment. This is not ideal for the Enchantress.
If you come mid, though, there's a decent chance Mirana's going to be there. And I don't know if they need him top. Moonmeander's been
I mean, he's
relatively well
in the
dealt
lane.
with.
If he tries, at least if he tries to make a move top, there's a better chance of them getting something done rather than moving to the Mirana's area. Like right now, the mid lane and the bottom lane is Misery's territory. He's going to be always constantly making sure that the Enchantress doesn't create any sort of pressure on those two lanes.
Resolution continuing to
Do they have a smoke?
harass Ice here.
They might bring the Rubik this time. Oh, there's a ward there. All right, so
The struggle continues for poor Nuts.
they might be able to get a gank top though if they move back towards top.
Not with that scan, I would think. The
look at Moon.
staying far up. He really expects this gank to go on mid, and
I mean, that's the
Faceless
right
hesitating.
play for Faceless.
you can just see Misery just waiting for the gank.
just sending his illusions, and he's just doing the right play as a 4-row support, playing against a Chen / Enchantress, a jungling hero that wants to gank. You should always anticipate his movement and try to break the smoke. Once again, that brilliant play by DC, having that vision to set up the information that they needed, and moving the supports right away to break the smoke. Just good play all in all.
Little love tap there for XY as Ice will deny himself to the neutrals.
He has his Tranquils
Has
up,
his Tranquils now.
so at least he's going to be able to stay in the lane much better right now. But still, Juggernaut lane is not an easy lane for an off-laner to survive on. He has to be very careful with all the moves. Misery trying to set up from behind to land an arrow, but Weeha still not back in the lane, so probably has to wait for Weeha to walk himself back into the lane. He does have his ultimate up.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, they are also prepping here with a disruption. Ice is going to tank the spin. Soul Catcher was committed. It will drop him low. Not enough for the kill, and now Resolution getting slightly blocked. Well, back away. Meanwhile, Misery, as you mentioned, is hounding jabs in the woods. Not particularly afraid. He is going to run into Nuts. Nuts this time has a decent-sized army. Troll Trap to start. He's going to leap up to the high ground. Assassinate coming through, and that will be enough for the kill. The Pew Pew does its work. And finally, they get something going against Misery.
Well, this time their laning phase has gone much better compared.
Bottom lane, Ice. He went for the stomp, but Resolution quick on the draw with the
Stick,
Blade
yes,
Fury. The stick, and doesn't matter. Resolution with the phase boots has that extra bit of damage. Finds the kill anyway. Make it 4-2, but with that exchange killing off Misery, experience going much more favorably now for Faceless.
So at least compared to the last game, the laning phase has gone much better this time.
How do you see them transitioning? Because the one guy that really is looking to set the tempo here in the mid game is the Centaur. Ice. He did find the kill, but Winter, he's not farming very well. 13 CS. It's going to be a slow blink.
Yeah, that is definitely not good. Like if you compare it to someone like Arrow, not gonna land on XY there. He was trying to do support things, place a deep ward, but Misery there to foil his intentions. But Centaur definitely not like Slada. You don't have that sprint. I mean, you're gonna have access to that Stampede at least at level 6, but he doesn't really set up a lot of kills like the Slada pre-blink. Slada pre-blink still is able to get a lot of work done for your team. But right now, we see this again from DC. Remember the last game when Luna had his ultimate up, they made a smoke play, they made a rotation to pressure towers, and right now this time on the Juggernaut Resolution, again making the same movement towards the enemy side of the map. He doesn't just sit in his lane and farm, and he's always looking to use his spells, especially his Omni Slash right now. He wants to put it on cooldown.
Ice is chasing bottom. Sock's already committed disruption. He has Stampede. He could
no
die
TP
for this.
He has no TP, so if Juggernaut comes here, he's going to be able to get the kill.
Oh, he has Stampede, but already Jug closing the gap, has the Mango for the Omni Slash. He Stampedes out, Resolution phase boots, and Ice continues to wind through the trees. Misery could cut him off, but XY's there, ready with the lift. They're going to be able to bring the Mirana down. That also saves Ice, who might have gotten clipped by an arrow on the way out.
My God. That was
good mirror movements.
That was actually such a good play by Ice, understanding how much time he exactly has before his supports arrive. One more second delayed that, he might have actually gone down to that Omni Slash plus Blade Fury.
Just able to get to the trees.
He's just one of those few offlaners, you interview all the carry players here at the event. Everyone will tell you they hate to play against Ice offlane.
And he's not like that. He is obviously he's a great offlaner, but he's like the kind that likes to push it to the limit. See just how much he can get.
The most annoying offlaner, they would tell you.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out, but he's not like Universe where he plays it very safe generally. Daryl much more of the aggressive, eke every little bit of farm and go for the kills where you can.
They are both very similar. DC's offlaner, Moon and Daryl.
Yes, Moon is much more similar.
A lot average deaths than compared to Universe, but they get a lot more done when they have a good game. So Black right now makes his
jabs and a little bit of trouble here in the mid lane. Disruption's going to come through.
Arrow.
They can follow this up with the Weehaw stun. They do have a breathe fire, and that soul catcher damage easily gets dealt with.
That arrow, he got blocked as well by the illusions there, so he couldn't really run down towards the river, unable to juke off the arrow. And here comes again Ice trying to creep skip and allow Black to secure the tower for his team.
Ice very low in the bottom lane, really just begging Moon to come at him. It's like, guys, we can kill him, but he's got some backup. They're still pressuring mid though. Double damage rune was up on Weehaw for that first kill on the sniper, and now they're going to take the tower as well.
Oh no, this is really good for DC.
It's actually a double tower grab. They also get top.
They moved so quickly once they saw Black, because they had a lane ward. They saw Black TPing to the bottom lane, so immediately they moved Resolution towards the top lane. They did not want to take that fight. They managed to use the DK in the mid lane to secure the tower as well. So once again, DC's short calling, amazing.
All three of their cores farming well. Nuts has not had the explosive impact. They're losing the tower war early, despite a great individual effort by Ice to find the solo kill. DC have just weathered that storm, and they're now back out in front. Down kills, but up gold, up experience. Feeling very comfortable going into the mid game. And so looking towards that mid game, Winter, how do you feel the teams will match up here?
If Centaur doesn't get a timely blink, I think Faceless will struggle. But if Centaur gets a good blink, I think it's going to come down to who makes the first move, who gets the better initiation, who gets the jump. Did
stop off for the Iron Talon, has the point in return now.
Well, the other thing we might actually see being a crucial part in team fights is Darkseer is going to be able to build the mech on his team, whereas for Faceless, the Centaur, obviously you can't get the mech for your team. So that might be a difference maker in the mid game, having a mech and against a team who does not have a mech.
Well, Moon playing very cautiously here bottom. As Ice was thinking about a flank, but it's some time he's not spending farming towards that blink. He'll back off to the jungle now, hanging around, but again, he's not hitting creeps.
DC is also saving up a lot of gold on Dragonite, so Weehaw might consider an early dagger as well. That will give them a lot of intrigue.
Soxa, he's in position here to set up an Ice. They're going to disrupt instantly. Starfall comes through, but not timed correctly. The arrow hitting the creep, and then he's going to stampede. He wants to run forward. Stomp is there. Has the double edge. Ice playing very aggressively, but this might give DC round two.
Taunting them as well.
Just toying with his food.
I mean, there was no way they got that kill after the Starstorm actually missed on Misery. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication there from the two supports, but regardless, that was an opportunity miss for DC. But overall, they're still farming really well. You see what Resolution is doing here on the enemy safe lane. Like, because Juggernaut has that innate survivability with the spin TP, you can actually do this, but the Luna can't really push the lane far out. You have to take the safer routes to farm. So what Resolution is doing right now, he's not only farming, but he's also creating a lot of room for the rest of his team to to farm.
And they're taking advantage of it on the bottom lane. And now a blink is grabbed by Weehaw.
This is going to be very, very crucial for their initiation, because Darkseer does not want to get an early dagger. You want to get a mech on Darkseer. So with the mech coming online, he's very, very close to completing that and being having that dagger on Weehaw. So it's going to give DC a lot of good team fight right now with the mech plus blink coming online.
Tower down, and without a blink on Ice, how do you fight into this, Winter?
How close is he to the dagger? Well, he's
not very close.
Oh, this is not good for them.
He's been spending a lot of time just sitting in the jungle, like threatening for ganks.
I mean, you kind of
backing up his Luna, but as a result, not farming.
You kind of have to hope for Rubik to start the fights, I guess, with his telekinesis. But that's not reliable at all, That's not what you want. You want the Centaur to go in, make a first move, so Rubik has time to stay back, decide on what spell you want to steal, and go in for the lift after. So things are not looking too good without the dagger right now for Faceless. They desperately need the dagger on Daryl here. They need to get that ASAP, whereas the rest of the items on the Sniper and Luna is not going to make such a huge difference right now for them.
Well, if they can find the dagger, find some kills. They do have decent push behind it from the Luna, the Ench creeps.
Whereas for DC, look at them, they're just ready to make moves right now. They're very active around the map because they don't feel the need to, to wait for any item. They already have the dagger plus Mac.
Uh-oh. XY
Gets the
cheeky
spin.
little steal.
But right now, everything is online for DC. They have the dagger. Oh, the Mac is still in the base, so wouldn't have that for the fight. But once again, DC are a team that understands their timings very well, their windows very well. They understand that the enemy is waiting on the Centaur's dagger. They're not ready to fight, so we are going to take the fight to them.
Are they going to try to make a move on Resolution? If they could get off a lift here, could at least bully him back.
It's going to be difficult for the Rubik to lift the Juggernaut, to be honest. Like
especially when there's a ward in the area, so he knows he'll back away. And
just look at Resolution again. He knows that the team is able to force powers, and he's just making sure that he's farming efficiently around the map, and he's trying to get the kill on that
ice into the trees. In fact, he's hunting. Stomp comes out. He baits Resolution. Now tries to survive. No, he runs back into the Blade Fury. Ice getting too cute.
Okay,
that will be punished.
That is the one moment that you wish that he wasn't that aggressive. Like Universe would
and
have just
he was
like
so
stamped in and get out.
He was so close to his blink. Now he's down to 1,500 gold.
He was trying to basically bait the Juggernaut to try and kill him, so his team could have came in for the return kill. But TP reactions here from Faceless. But without the Centaur, they kind of don't have really good ways of initiating the fight. That was a very, very big loss for Daryl. I mean, you could see what he was trying to do, trying to get as much as he can from the position, but ultimately paying a very, very heavy price, losing that timing on the blink.
And they don't have a Dragon Knight Midwinter. They don't have a hero that can take over in the tempo control role. Sniper is not going to be starting the fights, and if he does, he's probably dying.
But on the bright side of things, Sniper and Luna does offer your team a whole lot amount of like big physical plus spell damage in team fights if you can actually get a proper initiation. But and if you look at DC, I don't think they have as much damage in terms of their tool cost, but they do have an offlaner, Darkseer, which the longer the game progresses, he's going to get better illusions of your heroes. But right now, the Sniper and Luna are going to be able to do a good amount of damage if Faceless are able to get a first move on. But Misery here going to scout out XY.
XY is Blade Fury, though. Very tough to kill Rubik if he has quick reactions against the arrow.
One of the best spells he has this game, apart from like the Omni, like even the Vacuum or the Spin would be nice for the Rubik here. But as of right now,
Disruption always great.
Yeah, as of right now, Faceless are just still desperately waiting for Ice's Eyes to get his dagger. He's very close now, but DC looking to pressure and looking to use this time where Centaur does not have Blink.
And what do you know? Another DD rune for Weeha. He's got the Elder Dragon form ready. DC ramping back on towards mid. They might try to go for the lower hanging fruit here, the tier 2.
Yeah, their lanes. They need to take care of their lanes. Their lanes are not looking good. All of their lanes are pushing.
And they don't have Moon, so going high ground without your mech bearer, your big team fight specialist, not ideal.
Yep, this game you probably want the Darkseer to get all the team fight, survivability items. You get the pipe, even the Crimson Guard would be good choices here against the Sniper. All those items would negate a majority of the damage coming up from Faceless since they have the Blink on the Dragon Knight. The Darkseer is not so needed.
Is this going to be the big Blink reveal? Ice smoked up.
Can he get a big
jump?
stomp?
But he's got to find, ideally, Soxa, or at least multiple heroes. There's the stop to start with the Disruption. Counter initiate. Now the Omni Slash dragging Resolution back as they retreat out. XY already used the spell steal. He does have his own Disruption available. Oh, the Eclipse from Black committed earlier. They get the Dragon Knight kill. Now they look for the turn. Try to bring down Resolution. Very low. Will end up falling to the Imp. Moon Meander a bit late to the party, so it ends up being a 2-for-3 exchange. And they do have a stolen Disruption. It's going to be a 2-for-4. Nuts. Just left alone in that fight. The Stampede dragging Juggernaut very far away from his team, and it didn't look like the best initiation as the Disruption did counter that stomp, but Faceless still able to come out on top.
Well, like I said, it didn't really matter so much because they had a lot of damage. Luna and Sniper were dealing insane amount of damage at the backlines, even though the stun was sort of negated by the Disrupt, but they still had enough in the tank. And not to mention Enchantress, she was dealing a huge part of the damage with in the team fights. So all those things considered, even if you lose the Centaur, as long as he gets the stun, he forces the fight to happen.
And they focus him instead of going for the Sniper or the Luna.
The other heroes will just lay down.
Or the Enchantress.
Lay down the damage onto them. And the other crucial part about DC's team fight is still missing. Darkseer does not have any points in the wall yet, and he does not have his max points in the Vacuum, so they have to give Moon Meander some time to get his levels. It's extremely crucial as an offlaner when you're Darkseer to get those levels on your spells.
Well, Faceless do have a small little Ancient stack here, XY. Just have the
Small,
disruption
small
available.
little ancient stacks. Like 2 stacks, not that small. But you wish you had more, you know, as the Luna. But
You always want more. And now they're going to have an army of illusions if they want it.
you're the carry player. You know, stack for me, guys. And when they're playing the Luna, you always tell your
Would
team.
you prefer carry player who doesn't want to farm stacks?
No, of course not. You know. But I prefer, you know, you leave the stacks to me if I'm the Tide Hunter.
Well, Ice not playing that more greedy farming
Yeah,
offlaner. He is just constantly...
You say that, but as the Centaur, you want to get to your eggs, you know. You really want to get to your eggs.
Well, it's actually something you brought up in the draft, Winter, and since we have a little lull here, I'd love for you to expand more on it, that nowadays you feel like teams are drafting more for the items that heroes can build and less like for the hero's abilities in a vacuum.
Yes, sometimes you pick the hero not because the hero is extremely good. Like, for example, in this game, a Slada would have offered a lot more in the early game, but the reason that they picked the Centaur is because you have that Aghanim's build out on the Centaur to negate the Juggernaut damage, the double Starstorm if the Mirana gets to the axe, timing. It's just a very good build up for the hero. So I think sometimes teams tend to value that a lot. That hero has a very good build up against what the enemy composition has, instead of, oh, that hero is going to do well in certain parts of the game.
But it's a big item. It's not that easy to farm if you're constantly hiding in the trees and going for pickoffs.
He has Iron Talon, you know, that's...
But he hasn't been using it. Like he has been, but it's mostly to eat trees and worm his way, you know, kind of through them to find pickoffs.
It gives you that ability to, you know, get to that Aegis point. Some offlaners, I think, would get a Midas on, like, for example, a Slada or Clockwork. You see a lot of Midas on those offlaners or a Nyx to catch up. But for Centaur, I think, I've not seen anyone get a Midas, but Iron Talon is a good way of getting to it. You want to get to your Aghanim, so it's really, really crucial. Just like a Nyx Ag, it's game-changing.
DC made a move here into the Dire jungle. Not having that overwhelming advantage they did in game number 1, though. It's a slight lead for them.
They have the dagger plus the wall on the Darkseer now, so they have all their tools for the team fight.
And they do have the ability to siege with Disruption Illusions. Also, the Manta picked up on Resolution. And 2,100 gold in the bank, so they'll hack down that tier 2. Second to last outer tower brought down. Still 5 left standing for DC. Very healthy outer periphery of buildings here.
But team fight-wise, they still have to be very careful about the Luna and the Sniper. They need a gap closer. They need someone to, you know, get to the back lines, kill the Sniper especially. He's just outputting so much damage.
So they do have Surge into Blink Stun from Weeha.
I like the dagger though on Resolution. Like,
and you also have Moonlight Shadow now. And Faceless, no gem, only a single pack of dust on XY.
Oh, talk about Midas.
All right.
Misery, I think he's one of the supports that likes the Midas a lot, especially on his CMs, on a lot of his supports.
Well, he popularized Midas Gaming way back in, I think it was LGD International, right?
Oh, back when you were younger, Gorman. Back when you were younger.
Hey, are you calling me old?
You're more mature now.
You're the married man.
But going by numbers, you're still the older man, sorry.
But I'm young at heart.
Fine, whatever. Like for
you're a crabby old man at heart.
For DC right now, they're still looking to, you know, force fights. They feel like they're more ready with the dagger pickup on Resolution. They have the necessary tools to, you know, get to that back line, get the Omni Slash onto the Sniper. That's what you want as the Juggernaut this game. You want to kill him right away before the Sniper lays down too much damage in the team fights, whereas you leave the rest for the Darkseer and the Dragon Knight to take care.
And look at the way they're sieging. They put Resolution in front, has the Shadow Demon parked behind him in the trees. With the Manta, the Blink, and the Shadow Demon, it is very tough to jump this jug.
At the same time, they want to set up for a top defense as well. Misery TPs himself back towards top lane. You see their movements, they are always very, very good at...
And even scanning ahead, they are just so ready for that counter push.
They take a tower, they defend their own tower, and they have a hero always ready, you know, set up a fight to
could
defend.
They find Resolution here? They do have Vision of him, but Weeha's right in the neighborhood. They're going to Moonlight Shadow, Ice, in position on the high ground. But
they want to fight this. They see Misery at top previously.
They have a sentry. They're going to plant it and just hope that DC comes in
numbers.
range. There's a sentry from both
Faceless
avenues.
has the numbers here.
Jabs could get caught though. There's the stop to start. They do get Weeha. Initiation is there. The disruption comes through a bit too late though. It looks like should be going down. One more plink for Mr. Ho Ho Ha Ha. He will fall.
Yep. DC was
push over, folks.
DC were not ready for that. They did not know that Faceless have the vision there. So Faceless with the numbers advantage were able to overpower DC in that fight. I mean, nevertheless, DC is still in pretty good shape after getting all the towers. But
into the pit.
Can they defend this? They have a vision here, so they see FL going into the Roche pit.
Resolution.
They don't
in
have
the
enough
neighborhood.
heroes. They don't have enough heroes here. Misery TP'd back to base, and with the Dragon Knight down, there's only 3 heroes here.
But Faceless are scared. They don't want to go in.
They don't have the quickest Roche lineup right now. They don't have minus armor.
Yeah, they can do it safely with the Enchantress to tank. Level 4 untouchable.
Yeah, but
as you
it's
mentioned,
gonna
it's
take
slow.
a long time. So
Instead, they will smoke.
can they get a pick off here? A good pick off would be like on someone like the Darkseer, your team fight specialist. If you're able to remove that, then you can maybe go for the Roche.
The line is drawn. They're going to swing around on Soxa. Actually, still a pretty big part of the team fight. There's the stop. Double edge follow-up. They get the kill. They steal the level 1 Shadow Poison.
Rubik was dying to get disruption.
Sad, sad XY.
Gosh, I mean, it's good to have a point on Poison. You know, a lot of players right now, they go for the max Soul Catcher and Disrupt. And against a Rubik, you want to have a point.
It used to be like the max Shadow Poison would be the dream spell to
but
steal.
this game, you want to have a point in the Poison so that Rubik doesn't get that easy steal. I mean, it's a big deal, you know, this game. They have Luna.
So we're going to see a pretty early gem grab by Misery. Midas already
I mean, that's
able to fuel
like
that purchase.
That's like a good reaction as a captain. The last minute or so, you feel like something is wrong. Why are our moves not working? It's either they anticipated our moves or they see us, so he gets a gem right away after that. He wants to deward. That's just something a captain would do. Guys, I'm going to get a gem. Make sure that they don't do that anymore.
And the beautiful thing is he can easily afford it.
Dude, he was right. There was a ward there when they smoked, so he was actually right about that.
And DC, now the Greaves up a Moon Meander, Blink as well. We saw that picked up earlier. So they do continue to farm Winter, even though it feels like Faceless getting a little bit more of their footing. They are down on net worth. They're only slightly ahead in experience. Big item still coming out for Digital Chaos. BKB nearly complete for Weeha. We could see Misery transition back into the Ags as the game gets a bit later. And then, of course, Resolution farming very well with Manta, Blink already complete, and now a Maelstrom too.
Talking about Ags, you know, Faceless have 3 great heroes to get Ags on. So it's not only DC that has the Ags built out on their heroes.
Are they going to farm them is the question.
Well, he's trying, dude. He's halfway there. He has a point booster and he has 1,000 gold. Come on. He's going to try his very best to get there. He's going to have a big part to play in the game.
Sometimes Winter, your very best is not good enough.
Yeah, sometimes, but you're still, you're still going to try. You're going to try to get to that point. And you have Sniper plus Luna. You have very good defense on the high ground. And you have Rubik to spam out the waves. So
What is that old saying? A wise creature once said, do or do not, no try. There is no try.
But if you don't try, you have already failed. So you must always try first.
All right, well, DC, they're certainly trying now. An aggressive smoke forward. Resolution.
They're always like looking to fight right now, whereas for Faceless, they are much more contented because of their composition. They have a very, very good composition for the late game, so they are happy. And you have Black on the team. He's always going to be comfortable, trying to farm and get more items, not wanting to fight so much. So for DC, they are just trying to control the map more. They have the gem, so they're moving around with the Mirana to make sure that they deward all the vision.
They see Black mid, but there is a big trap being laid here with XY in reserve behind him. The whole team in the neighborhood.
The ward is going to see Moon. He's going to know now.
We'll back away. Had the Invis rune.
He's going to tell, hey, Jam Carrier, come over. There's a sentry.
They're going to back off.
But right now...
Hey, it's time for Ice Ice Ice. Suddenly another 1,000 gold. All right. Starting to get closer to the Ags.
I told you to believe him. He's going to get his Ags this game.
You're biased.
Oh, fine. He's going to get his Ags this game. And there's one last
You're like willing him into the Ags. Now, to be fair, it is one of the very strongest Ags in the game if used properly with the insane damage reduction.
I think Omni Slash and the double Starstorm from Mirana when she has Ags. They're going to use Moonlight, try to find a move here. Is there a sentry in the lane? That is the question.
They've been so disciplined. They have one on the hill. DC trying to go for a bit of a D-ward. They're going to blink in, initiate the fight. It's on the Rubik. BKB committed. The Golden Dragon brings them down, and now they chase forward looking for more. It's only a Rubik. They committed a 10-second BKB for that solitary kill.
To be fair, Gorman, that was actually worth it for Faceless losing the support for that BKB charge. They are not going to be able to pressure because the bottom lane is pushed out. And look at top lane is pushed out as well. DC needs to take
Tier
care
1,
of
will they finally get it? The triple rage creep just slowly plinking away at the structures here.
They're going for the Roche here though. Let's see if Faceless decides
but without the BKB, would they consider a fight?
No,
the Moon has great position here to break a smoke.
Faceless is not moving the Luna over to fight though. It seems like they're not.
They're thinking about it. Ice 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 coming in, Japs coming in, and Moon
Luna's not there though.
Looking for the intel. And Resolution's going to jump. There's the quick initiation. Omni coming through. and in a hail of destruction,
What?
DC slaughter them.
What is
Faceless
going
are
on?
not on the same page, and that was a huge gimme.
What is going on there with the team? Like, they were not on the same page for sure. And another pickup here because...
Just like that. Just 3 free kills.
Gosh,
just
that was...
forfeited. Absolutely avoidable.
It seems like the two players, the sniper and the centaur, were like wanting to fight the Roche, but Black didn't seem interested to take that fight. Now they're going to force a buyback onto jabs on the sniper. That is very, very detrimental to their item
And
progression.
they even buy back on jabs just to hold the tower. That is extremely
Look at this play here.
painful.
Moonmeander.
Yeah, really good position. Even if they did try to smoke, he would have been able to break it. The arrow comes in. Then they're like, should we go in? Should we not? They're still hesitating. You can see Ice just milling back and forth.
You know why he was hesitating? His carry was not making his move away over to the Roche pit.
Yeah,
That's why he was hesitating.
You got to imagine either there wasn't enough talking or there was too much disagreement in the war room there for Faceless.
Either way, that is not a good sign at all. When you make a decision, you have to be quick. It's either you go in and die together or you don't go in at all. But they were split up, they got caught, and that was really not a good showing from Faceless. And the Aghanims, the crucial item on Centaur, is going to be delayed once again because of that death. And right now, Resolution on the Juggernaut more than ready to take the high ground here with all his items completed. The Mjolnir, the Dagger, the Manta. They want to get the lanes push out and siege the base. That's what DC wants right now. They have already removed almost all the wards from the Faceless map. No vision means very difficult to split push for them. And they're going to be forced to defend with the Shrapnel.
Oh, now Black wants to fight.
He has his BKB.
Has the BKB. Is going to scout out Moonmeander here. Trying to harass him a bit with the Glaze, but there will be the Greaves retreat. If he had eclipsed immediately, maybe could have gotten the kill. But
still, you know,
it's a risk.
It's very iffy there. He did not have any, you know, setup from the Centaur or the Rubik. So you do not want to blow a big cooldown on something that's uncertain. But right now, DC... they're just trying to get their lanes pushed out, and Darkseer is, he's going to move to his team right now. So they're going to siege the high ground at
DC,
top.
while Faceless hesitate, they're decisive. Resolution moves on to top, has the Aegis, completed Mjolnir, hacking away at the tower, quickly bringing it low, they're going to lift him, and then try to chip at him. Jabs, not going to rev up the Assassinate, they go for the stomp, but Resolution ready with the Blade Fury. Could have been an easy Aegis pop otherwise.
Yep, you don't really want to waste the Aegis like that. You want to, you know, force the enemy to use a big cooldown on you and you die. But you don't want to give away like a kill with
it's
like
such a safe siege for DC though. They've got the Jug out in front, and again the positioning. Look at Soxa so far back.
He can always spin and hit the towers.
And he has Aegis, and he has Manta. Lots of escape plans for Resolution, who is about to bring this tower down. Is starting to drop a bit to the Imps. Decent damage done. Assassinate with the Fade Bolt. No, the disruption! No siree, they say, and now the Stampede committed. They're going to try to jump on a Weehaw. BKB available, but he gets lifted. Good control here. DC unable to get the finish. Faceless as Weehaw survives with the BKB. Black going to commit the Eclipse, but his own illusion being turned against him. Nearly dead to that as Weehaw surges in. Can't quite get in range. Has to back away, and they look for the chase.
Omni.
They're so low.
Rubik has Omni.
They could make big plays here. The impetus damage. There's the surge. Can they get in range? The arrow could slam the door. Ice with the stop. Set up on the moon. Can they finish the job? Not quite yet. And no, that's not enough for now. DC able to easily stagger the retreat, walk away safely. Great communication. Where Faceless feel like they're not on the same page, DC feel like it's one player controlling all 5 heroes at times. Just so coordinated. Blake stun, arrow follow, backs there as well. Then the disrupt. They're going to prep for round 2. This gives the Dragon Tail a chance to cool down. Black all the way back to the well. Doesn't even make it. Resolution diving him into the fountain. Slaughtering the cat therein.
That's got to be their
and
last
that's
draw.
Elena Vrax.
That's got to be their last draw there for Faceless.
And this looks like the end, Winter. It's going to be an early exit for them from the Boston Major unless a miracle can pop out.
That was their last straw. They used 2 of their buybacks there, and right now with no buybacks remaining, Faceless, you know, gonna struggle.
Still no Centaur eggs, no big items to turn this one around. Few buildings remain. Digital Chaos, contrary to their name, looking like a unified squad here, and
Faceless are the ones that look chaotic this year.
And not good chaotic either. This is indecisive chaotic. You know, it's like when MVP was at their best, they would play chaotically, but it was organized chaos. They would run at you, they would force your team into disarray, and they would punish, you know, looking back to like the Manila Major, the Shanghai Major. Not the case here for Faceless. Mega creeps now. The end is nigh. They can wait, but they will be going home.
Ice just casually farming the enemy jungle.
few last moments here on the stage for him.
I want to get my axe.
You know, Black did say in that recent interview he did that he doesn't expect them to disband even with an early exit here, but that's often said. We'll have to see if that's how it turns out. Weehaw just trying to force them out of the game, diving them extremely far towards the fountain. One last stand. They want to loosen beam. Moomiander not going to allow it. He gets up the back the wall as well. Up on the high ground, he will fall. They do even find that Dragon Knight kill. DC, all right, well, if you want to play that game, we will just let the creeps kill you.
It was still a heavy price to pay, you know, for that 3 kills, losing your whole base. So, okay. Mega Crypt defense, what do they have? They have Luna.
They have Luna, one of the better heroes against Megas.
They have Return on Centaur. Oh, Arrow.
All right, 80-minute comeback. Here we come.
So, against Mega Crypts, you want to have a Blast. You want to have I think one of the strats MVP did against the Mega Crypt was they had multiple Helm of Dominators and they dominated the army and they surrounded the throne with the army. That's how they held. So those are the ways where you can defend against a Mega Creep and get Maelstrom. They already have a Maelstrom on. Sniper, other heroes not exactly good candidates for that.
If you're DC, you're just saying, we're not letting them farm all these items and take it 80 minutes. We're just going to run down mid. You can see the line drawn immediately by Moon. It's probably a little baffled that they're still sticking around, but he is going to try and end this one ASAP.
I mean, it's their last game, so
they're
going to defend to the bitter end.
There is a stolen wall on the Rubik right now, level 2, XY. Could be a big pickup. Most importantly, the Centaur Axe is online. But that is... As strong as it is, the timing on the Stampede has to be right. And it's also their most important way to
the Omni Slash, I think.
Initiate.
He needs to time it with the Omni Slash.
And that would be the ideal scenario. DC marching down mid. They could wait for that next Roche if they really want to slow roll it. But they're going to finish off the buffer buildings here. Just a few huts remain in the shambles that is the Faceless base. They can chip with illusions. The glaives start to ramp up. Luna being turned against Faceless now. And Misery just fencing around. Has the Axe, has the Blink. So they've got a 4th core coming online should this go later. Well out farming Ice 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 at this point. And creeps continue to march in. At some point, Faceless are going to have to make their move. Buildings being brought low. Finished off Resolution. 1 tier 4 down, 1 to go. And Misery just plink, plink, plink. Slow but sure progress being done as Weehaw finds the opening and straight onto Ice Ice Ice. Back wall and destruction ensues. Jabs and Black both in danger. Mauled into submission as DC ended a final dagger into the heart of Faceless fans everywhere. It will be an early exit from